Hello, you're welcome. Today is the 22nd day of September, being our Deaf Awareness Month. And I trust you have been following through our posts. I know you've been learning something new, and we want you to join in this community of the deaf, the community of inclusion. And together we can build a strong nation, an inclusive environment. Today, being the 22nd of September, I will be talking basically on the role of the dominant hand in sign language. Now, the sign language is a very, very significant communication tools for the deaf people. And there are two C's. That's a very key concept you have to understand as a learner who wants to sign for the deaf, who wants to speak the language of the deaf. So these two C, I call it the concept of clarity and consistency. These are key notes for you to sign properly and to communicate to your deaf friend and a deaf person. Now, talking of the dominant hand, your dominant hand is the hand you naturally use more often for tasks like eating, writing, throwing of things. Basically, it's the right hand for most persons. And for other persons, it is the left hand that is their dominant hand. For me, my dominant hand is my right hand, and my non-dominant hand is my left hand. So, in sign language, it's very important to understand that the dominant hand takes the lead, takes the action, takes the task, and carries out the work. So today we are going to learn how to put into play the dominant hand to communicate properly to our friends out there who are deaf. So come with me as we go through this journey. All right, you're welcome back. Now we want to talk of the dominant hand, how it works. The dominant hand, as I said earlier on, is the hand you often use to carry out your tasks. The dominant hand is used for movements. As you can see me using my hand, when I come up to sign, my dominant hand is the right hand. I often use it for movement. You use it for your finger spelling. You use it to initiate a particular sign you want to give out as form of communication. That is the work of the dominant hand. You use it for movement, finger spelling, and initiating the action of what you want to sign. Now, talking of the non-dominant hand, for me, it is my left hand. Basically, the non-dominant hand serves, as a supporting base or a reference point. As we sign some of these words, you're going to see how it plays out. So it's very key to know that your dominant hand takes the action, do the task, do the finger spelling, do the movements, and initiate what? The task you have to sign, the word you have to sign. While the left hand, for me, is the non-dominant hand that does the what? The supporting, it is the supporting base or a reference point. Take for example, I want to say this, standing on the promises of God. Stand. Now, my dominant hand is doing the movements, standing on. Now look at it, on. This is my non-dominant hand, the supporting base that is helping out in the task, on. The promises, this is my D, the promise. So you see, the dominant hand is doing the movements, is initiating the action of the word I want to carry out, right? And this is the base, standing on the promises of Christ, my Savior. So this is the work of the dominant hand, and this is the work of the non-dominant hand, being a supportive base for my dominant hand. And that is why when I want to say, come home and see your friend. Come. Now you see I'm not using my right hand. So the first thing you have to understand as a learner, you must first choose your dominant hand and stick to it. Now, when you are signing to a deaf person and you are interchanging, take for example, I come up to say, my name is Mathania Williams. Remember, I've already spelled Mathania Williams to you the last video, and I am messing it up. My name, I come to the non-dominant is conflicting, right? I'm going to misguide my audience. It's going to set in confusion. So you can't just randomly use the both hands at the same time. If you are choosing this right hand for your dominant hand, you go for it as your dominant hand, and the left hand works as the non-dominant hand. Is that okay? All right. Thank you very much. We are still going to do some examples that will guide you and also help you to sign better. Thank you. Okay, I've spoken extensively on the right hand being the dominant hand. For some persons, okay, now let's take for example, for me, I said the right hand is my dominant hand. I want to count my alphabets: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. That's for me because it's my dominant hand. I use it for my finger spelling. I use it to initiate whatever movements of action I'm carrying out. For some other person whose dominant hand is the left hand, it wants to come to, communicate to the deaf. It can choose to use the what? The left hand. My name is Mathania Williams. Can you see that he or she is not wrong? Is actually signing right. It's become difficult and confusing when I am using both interwovenly and trying to pass across same message but not consistent. So the basic information here is, or the basic concept here is, choose clarity, choose consistency, and then sign language will be clear to the deaf who are out there to hear your voice through your hands. So thank you very much. Put that in practice. And tomorrow, basically being 23rd, is